really today's topic is reaching donors with cutting-edge web technologies. And what I'd like to do today is just kind of give kind of a backdrop with the kind of technologies that are freely available to nonprofits, and then do transition into more of a practical hands-on approach with benefiting from these technologies. So the, so I can slide this here. There we go. The two applications that we utilize for our customers and we're well versed in is Drupal and CiviCRM. These are two distinct applications that, personally, I think they're ideal for nonprofit organizations. If you're not familiar with Drupal or CiviCRM, they are open source technologies. The Drupal is a website content management system, and CiviCRM is a donor management system or a CRM system. And I'll get into more of the specifics of some of those things that these applications ship with. So out of the box, as far as feature sets, Drupal is, think in terms of it as being a framework for building and managing software. What separates it from other content management systems is just that. It not only manages and publishes content, but it becomes a platform that you can build and develop software systems to support your operations needs. It also serves as a platform to power CiviCRM, the donor management software system. And it's a very active community, and there's like over 1,000 different core modules. In fact, I just looked at earlier today, there's like 6,000 modules that Drupal comes with. So if the core system of Drupal doesn't meet what you need, there's certainly a module out there that's available to plug in and get the system to work to support most any problem. So CiviCRM, on the other hand, is it's a robust CRM system to manage contacts, contribution and memberships, event registration, email distribution, managing grants or cases and activities. It also has a predefined set of reports. All this, when you combine these two applications, meaning Drupal and CiviCRM, you have one complete package that can be integrated and it is customizable. So what's so special about these technologies? Besides the fact that you have all these rich feature sets, which we'll get into more of the details of this in a few minutes, what we find is the greatest benefit of these technologies, they're open source. If you're not familiar with the term open source, think of it in terms of a license arrangement, that if you want to be able to modify that code base to support a particular, or configure it to such a way that it's going to support your needs that goes beyond the standard, open source takes off that license restriction where you can actually modify the code base and then redistribute that software as you need in order to make sense for your organization. Whereas if you're working with proprietary software systems like Microsoft Office, there's no way you can go in there and open up the code base of, let's say, a Microsoft Office tool because the license restricts you from doing it. So from a development standpoint, open source is just full of rich resources for us to be able to configure it. Which brings me to that second point there. It's highly configurable. There are thousands of modules to draw from, and these are modules that are being actively developed by a community of software programmers and webmasters and designers and programmers, all for the purpose of building a better application. So it's an ecosystem, if you will, of people who care about developing software and making it reliable and consistent for the rest of us to benefit from. The other thing that I really like about working with these technologies is that the updates and release cycle happens all the time. It seems like about once a quarter, we're always making updates to these software programs, whether it's a patch or it's a new update in terms of a new release. They are updating updating these software systems quite regularly. And the other benefit to this too is that because it's a community of developers around the globe who are contributing to the bottom line of building out these applications, it defrays some of those costs because, once again, you can grab from the community's development and integrate those development applications into your software systems. And the final point I'd like to make on this is that it's proven. It's proven in the sense that Drupal alone has over 500,000 different sites that are being powered. Websites are powered by Drupal. CiviCRM, as a donor management system, has over 4,000 active nonprofits that are using that system. So it's making an impact. NPOs, or nonprofit organizations using Drupal and CiviCRM, it really ranges from large international groups like Amnesty International, political candidates, all the way down to smaller organizations at a chapter level. So we're seeing a lot of diversity in terms of who's using it and how they're using it. You know, the question that I get asked a lot of times is, how does this system scale in terms of, will it manage a lot of data? How reliable and consistent? Wikimedia Foundation released some information. They're the largest group that I know of. I mean, Amnesty may be bigger in terms of their database, but they have over 1 million contact records on their database, and they have over 1 million different transactions that have hit this system, with a grand total of $45 million that's in total that's been raised using Drupal and CiviCRM. Now, what's equally impressive is the fact that there are 700 concurrent users. Now, I'm speaking more in terms of Drupal in this aspect. Concurrent users meaning that these are people who have logged into their system on their website and are actually either editing or adding content. That's a lot of users to be on the system. Also, it's internationalized in terms of there's 30 different currencies that's being supported, 15 different languages, and 4 different payment systems. So I would say Wikimedia Foundation is a power user when it comes to utilization of these technologies. Here's another interesting piece of statistic that I thought was important to note in relationship to CiviCRM. We've been using CiviCRM since version 1.7 or 1.8, I can't remember which, but before it was the version 2. And this statistic here is showing the number of downloads has been increasing by version. So version 2.x is basically where it's over about a 1.5 year period there, where they saw just shy of 100,000. Well, that's up by about 27% over that next cycle of the next release, which would be 3.0. So we're seeing right now about 226 downloads per day. So a lot of nonprofits are actually utilizing this system, which is good. It's good to be part of this community. Now, where does all this fit in terms of, we're talking about technologies like Drupal, CiviCRM, open source, being able to customize and develop it. How do you make use of it? Well, Drupal, if you will, fits right in the middle of this. And as we all know that fundraising is all about relationship building, recognizing the contributions of your donors, making sure that your message and mission is relevant, and offering resources for your constituency to connect to, whether those are events or direct marketing programs or networking through social networking tools. And then there's all the data capturing and collecting, whether it's an online giving or interacting through polls or e-commerce. All of that data then gets funneled into CiviCRM as the donor management system. So we have this integrated application between CiviCRM and Drupal where it is collecting information, and the outcomes that you're going to see out of this is new relationships, new dollars, and then also mission expansion. So that's kind of how it fits. So it's community built. What I mean by community, if I can use as a point of emphasis, I said earlier that there are hundreds if not thousands of programs around the world are actively updating new tools, new modules, new programs, and they're contributing that back to the larger community, this big ecosystem. And where DonorDepot fits in this is that we commercially support those releases of those platforms. And on our end, customization requests are encouraged. So we are looking to help to extend the software to make it a better software application for our customers and also for the community at large, because we all derive value from that. So the value is really based on the service, not so much the software. So we want to put more value on supporting our customers, helping them to implement these services and solutions in a more meaningful way. The code contributions, consequently, they benefit all of us, me, you, and everyone else. And the nice thing about this is DonorDepot is an active contributor. So there's several releases of applications that we're working on to get into the core of these systems, and that's kind of our claim to fame as we continue to partner together with our clients and partner together with the community at large. So, as a point of, asking yourself questions in terms of technology for your organization, some of the questions you may want to ask yourself is, do you have the technology platforms in place to support your development programs? And, do you have the internal resources to maintain it? These applications that I've just discussed with you are free and they're open, but there is a level of technical proficiency that's required in order to implement them and configure them and then support them on an ongoing basis. And then can your organization simplify the workflows in order to decrease the cost? Even though these things are free and open and available to all of us, there is a cost, and it's a matter of can we consolidate these architectures. So how can DonorDepot help with this? Typically what we do is we assess the technology needs in terms of strengths and weaknesses in the areas of web development, utilization of CRM, or our donor management system, how to integrate payment processing systems into these applications, and then the skill building, which is required. So helping nonprofit organizations learn the skills and apply the resources to support it. The bottom line is that really, from our viewpoint, is to implement integrated fundraising software technologies that really help you support your overall development goals. So let me take a few minutes here, and I want to segue into a live application at the demo site and give you kind of a first-hand view of these technologies. And I've got here a live demo site, and let me just pull up the screen here. What we're looking at here is, you'll notice here that I have a menu structure. I'm logged in, or I'm authenticated in the system. And what we're looking at is it's a combination of Drupal and CiviCRM. And the nice thing about what you're seeing here is this is what I call the public-facing tools, where as a site administrator, you can log into the system, and you can really, you don't need to be a programmer or a webmaster in order to get your site to work or update content. You just need to be able to have access and permission. So what we do is we'll implement these technologies, install it, configure it, let our clients be able to log into the system, and they can go to work. So, for example, if you want to come in here and you want to change out content, you can see here that you can either view this content or edit it, and at your fingertips you can give the create pages for the site. So whether it's a title for the page, maybe you want this page to be linked to a menu, such as this primary menu. Maybe you want to associate it with another menu structure, so you can do that as well. Also, you can alter the content right here using these editors and tools. So if you want to import an image or hyperlink things, you can also just go through the process of maybe you want to give it some sort of alias, and so instead of having your domain name /node25 or whatever, you want to give it some sort of descriptors such as about us.